Hey, thanks for joining me for another episode. Hey, quick update. You see these pictures here of the studio scale B-wing. There's two copper pieces of tubing there that they used for the guns in the front. And you can see on my model here, they're obviously just plastic. So what I did is I cut those off there, as you can kind of tell in this photo. And I got some copper tubing and I cut it to the proper length for the gun barrels, drilled out holes in there, and I inserted the tubing into there to make it look like the studio kit, and you can see how they look right here. Also, in the meantime, I went and I painted my pilot. Man, he's small, and put him inside the cockpit, and pretty happy with the way he turned out. But you can see how he looks here inside the cockpit. And I also did a little more weathering on the decals, scratched them up a bit, the stripes in the back, you know, weathered them up a bit more, and scuffed them up. And you know, again, I don't know if this is final. I may do more once I get the entire ship built, but for now this is where it stands. So let's get on with the rest of it. So we've got all the pieces here for the wings for the B-wing, and we've got some other pieces here for the cannons which go in the wing tips. What I'm going to be starting out with here are the side wings. The manual shows to do the midsection first, and then attach your cockpit, you know, and then get to the side wings. But because of the way I'm doing this and having to wire my laser cannons to actually fire, I'm going to start with my side wings and get those out of the way. So here I've got my wings out of the sprues and the cannons out of the sprues, and they basically just fit together nice and easy, like so. And you've got these two little pieces that go on the ends here, and then you have this piece that fits in to the end. There we go. Have this piece that fits in there, and then the laser cannon slips inside there like so, and that's what holds that in place. But I'm going to be making my laser cannons fire, so I'll have to be figuring out how I'm going to run everything through here and run it out into the body to light it up. So I've got three pieces of tube here, and I'm basically going to rebuild the laser cannon with aluminum and copper tubing. So what I've got here is these three pieces, and you can see how they nest inside of each other like so. This one slides in, and then this one slides in right here, and you get that nice step of the tubing look, which matches the way the gun looks from the model, you know. And if I just slide these in, you can see here the little stair stepping. You can see the diameters, how they match, and how the little pieces, that midsection there, and so on. And then I got this piece at the end that I have to deal with, and this down here, which is that big piece. So I'm going to cut this middle tubing the entire length of the whole laser cannon, because that's what's going to house my wires. And I've cut all the pieces now to the proper length, and I'm going to nest these together here, and I can show you how they all go together and how this is going to fit, and I'll match the actual sculpted plastic cannon that comes with the kit. And I'll just push these together until I get the right lengths, and like so, you know, you pretty much have the laser cannon. So I've cut out all the pieces for both laser cannons, and now I've glued them all together in the right positions so that they're the right length And this tip piece here I'm going to have to mount to my pieces here. So I'm probably going to cut that off. You can see here the hole where I'll be able to run my LED wires down through the center of the cannon. And I've got this SMD LED here with the wires, and I'm just going to do a little test here and make sure that I actually can run them down the length of the cannon. And they just fit in there like so, and they slide all the way through. And as you can see, I can pull my LED to the tip of the laser cannon here. Then we just have the laser tip here, which will go at the end, and the LED will fit right inside the hole. So it'll just cap right over that little LED there. And I'm going to put just a teeny little piece of fiber inside there to light up. So now I've got the tip here that I need to deal with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off, and then it'll fit over my tubing here and recreate the end of the gun here. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully just cut through and remove the end piece. Alright, so I've got it cut off, as you can see right here. So now I need to drill through the center so that my wires of my LED can go through. So I've drilled it out here with a 1mm drill bit. And you can see here it's got the hole which goes all the way through. Comes out the other side. So my other issue now is this end here that attaches to my tubing. The tubing diameter is a little bit bigger than the hole I drilled, and that size there is fine for my LED. So I'm just going to carefully, I've drilled out just a little bit into the one end here with an 1/8 inch drill bit, but left the other end with the smaller size for the LED to fit. That way my tubing will fit inside the end here, nice and snug, and I'll still have the hole on the other end slightly smaller that my LED will fit through with no problems. So this laser tip here, I'm going to put a little fiber optic in there, just a very short piece the length of that tip that'll go up against my LED inside there, and it'll light up through the fiber optic. Here's the tip, and this is a 0.75mm fiber optic which fits nice and snug inside the tip, and that's the hole that is actually in that tip that is part of the kit. I didn't drill that out, and you can see the fiber optic fits nice through there. So I've cut a little piece that'll just have a hair sticking out the end, so that when it lights up it'll extend beyond the very tip. And you can see my LED right there at the edge, and I'm using a resistor in line here so I don't fry my LED. And quick little test here, and you can see the LEDs lighten up, and if I hold the tip you can see how it goes through the fiber optic, and the tip of the gun will light up very nicely. So moving on here, we have this piece here which fits into the end of the wing like so. And the way this works is the laser cannon piece here slides right in to the end of the wingtip like so. And I've got mine here, and you can see when I hold it next to it, it needs to go to the edge here. I'm going to have to cut off the existing plastic barrel all the way down and leave this little gun here that's along the side and glue it to the edge of my replacement cannon. So what I'm going to do is start out and carefully start slicing through the edge here to save this little gun that runs down the side. So I've cut the entire laser cannon off, and you can see my laser cannon will fit right in there like so. And then I'll just slide the entire thing into the wingtip here, and I'll have my aluminum laser cannon coming out here as a replacement. Now I just have to drill a hole through here for the wires of my LED to come through so they can go into the wing, into the main body. I'm going to use a 1.2 millimeter drill bit here and just carefully drill through here. And you can see I've got a hole drilled which comes through this side where my laser cannon will attach, and comes out the other side there where the wires will come out and run into the wing of the B-wing. And I'm just going to check here, and I'm going to have to cut a little trench here. Where this fits, it will squeeze my wires. So you can see that hole there. What I'm going to have to do is cut out a little trench area in the middle so that my wires right in here won't get pinched, and then they're going to come out the side here into the wing. So you can see here I've cut out just a little trench area here that my wires can go through without getting pinched, and there's enough room they'll come out the side here into the wing. And you can see when I take this piece and I attach it to the wing, you can see how there's just like the slightest gap here right inside here where my wires will come through no problem. I don't have to cut anything away. So I'm going to do a dry fit here and just pull my wires through this piece, and you can see they'll run through the trench there, and when this goes in, like so, there's room for the wire, and I can even slide the wire through easily without it being pinched. And then that will attach right there, and the wires will run out of that into the wing, into the main body. And then this side they'll run out through my laser cannon that I made out of aluminum tubing. And I still have play where I can pull the wires through and they're not getting pinched. I've now glued my laser cannon barrel to the plastic piece, and you can see here it's one solid piece now. I can pull the entire thing out and it's all glued together and has a hole that runs down the center so I can put it right into the wing. And here you can see I have my LED through there, and I can pull it all the way through, no problem. It runs through freely, nothing is getting pinched or caught. And I've got it running all the way through now, even out through here into the wing. Then this top piece of the wing will attach, and it'll run on through into the body, and the entire laser cannon tip will light up when it fires. Now I have both of them glued together and they're both completed. And I've got my LED here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it through all the way through and do a quick test to make sure the LED lights before I start closing anything up. And then I'm going to pull it down inside here. Then I'm going to take some super glue and apply it to the end here. And I'm going to take the tip and I'm going to glue the laser cannon barrel tip onto here. And there we go. I've got the LED inside here, and I can push it up just to the very edge. And a quick lighting, and you can see that it's obviously lighting up. So I've now painted the gun barrel with a white primer, and now what I'm going to do is I've painted it with a gray primer to try and block the light from the entire end of the barrel lighting up like it was previously, so no light leakage. And in the dark here you can see there's no light leak, it's only coming out through the tip and into the fiber that I have sticking in the end there. And I've gone and I've primed the rest of the wing pieces. I've painted these pieces here the same gray primer that I painted the gun barrels with. And I've gone and I've done some pre-shading with Tamiya German gray on the wings. And then I've gone and given them a coat of AS-20 Insignia white from Tamiya. And you can see how there's like it's already some depth from the pre-shading I did. I've gone and I've cut some little trenches here in the wing so that my wire will come through. And I've done the same to the top side here so it doesn't get pinched when I put the two wing halves together. So it's time to get this finally assembled. I'm going to put my gun barrel into this piece here. Then I'm going to run the assembly into the end of the wing and secure this down. And then I've got my wires here that I need to deal with, so I'm just going to carefully slide them over into the little trenches I cut out. Use a little bit of tape and secure them down in place so they don't move around when I put the top half of the wing with the bottom half. Then I've got this little piece here that I need to attach, which is part of the hinge system when it attaches to the body. And I've got this other little piece here that I need to attach, like so. Then I take the top half of the wing and I'm going to carefully push it all together with my wires secured inside and not getting pinched. And there we go. The wing is now assembled and the wire is running all the way through into my gun barrel out through the wing. And I put little 0.75 millimeter fiber in the end of each gun, and I'm just going to do a little test here of each one from the wire coming out of the wing, and you can see both guns are lighting up just fine. So everything has worked as planned, and I'm happy with the way this is turning out. So here are the wings assembled with the base coat of paint ready to go. I have not done any detailing or weathering yet, obviously. This is where I'm going to leave this video at this point. But they're now assembled, working with the LEDs through the laser cannons. And next I'll move on to doing weathering and painting and moving on to doing the body and the other wing of the ship. So until next time, thanks for watching. If you like watching my videos, please feel free to give them a like. And so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, click subscribe.